Welcome back to An American Homestead, podcasting live from deep within the Ozark Mountains at an elevation of 2,200 feet. It's 10 p.m. Eastern and 9 Central, and it's good to be back. So, it's December 24th. I think this is some kind of, everyone's talking about this day for some reason, like it's some kind of big deal, but I just, well, hold on, we'll get to that in a minute. So, it's just me tonight, and Jamie's taking a bit of a break, and so I got a big stack of stuff to go through tonight, so we got a lot to talk about. Just want to give some plugs out to the Homestead Network. You can go to thehomesteadnetwork.com, go to the show times, and see all kinds of amazing Homestead channels where you can tune into shows just like this and give them some love and like their channels, subscribe. But thanks for coming back and visiting. We're here every Saturday night at about 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 Central. And let's see, thehomesteadnetwork.com. We just got done listening to Deep South Homestead, and before that, Big Bear. And I mentioned on Big Bears, I didn't get a chance to mention it on Deep South, but tonight we're going to be giving away a t-shirt to someone in the chat room. So just to let you know, for those of you guys in the chat room, we're going to be giving away a t-shirt, and it's going to be one of our t-shirts that you find on our website at AmericanHomestead.com. It's the I'd Rather Be on the Homestead t-shirt. And it's going to be given away in the form of a trivia question. So you're going to have to answer at the end of the show of a trivia question, and it'll be a movie trivia question. So I've already got the question laid out. I have it right here in front of me. I'm not going to give you any hints until the time comes, but we're going to give away a t-shirt. It'll be a t-shirt of the size of your choice to the winner, and it'll be a movie trivia question. So you'll have to stay tuned and wait for that. But I'm trying to think if I want to give any hints for that. I don't think I want to. So we'll just wait. So it's going to be a movie trivia. That's all I'm going to say. So you got to be ready to pull up Google and get ready to do the search. Because when I ask the question, you can do a quick search and probably come up with the answer. Because I doubt. Maybe somebody will know the answer. I don't know, but we'll have to wait and see. Let's see what we do this week. Those of you asking, the cow is doing great. The new cow Truffle is doing wonderful. She the first couple nights she was really mooing pretty loud for Mama, because it was the first time she was being weaned. We took her. She had not been weaned yet, so she was mooing pretty hard for Mama the first day or so, first 2 days. And she's doing great now, eating hay, eating some sweet feed, and just doing fantastic. So the cow is doing great. What else? Oh, I was over at Season 3, Episode 6 of An American Homestead. We had Lyndon and Charlotte. We went over to their place, and we were putting up or watching them build some of their house. Now, these guys were building their house from scratch. And a lot of people ask, hey, how do I build a house? And, what can I do to get on my land? And how did you build your houses? We have manufactured homes. But there are a lot of people who don't want to buy their home, or they don't want to go out and build a stick home or have a contractor build it, go through all that expense. And so I thought it would be encouraging, and many people were inspired by seeing a young couple building their home from scratch on lumber that they got off and harvested on their own land. So that's what they were doing, and they were doing it without a lot of expense. He even made his own scaffolding, which we talked about in the episode. That's Season 3, Episode 6, if you haven't seen it, on our YouTube channel. And so Lynn and Charlotte are doing great. They did get all their top plate on. They got a lot of their structure up for the side. However, they're ready to put their trusses up, their roof trusses. And so the issue was they got to the point, this is a really big building. I forgot how many square feet it is, but it's a really big house that they're building, and they needed to basically, they wanted a 6-foot overhang on all of the house so that they could have a wraparound porch around the house. Well, to do that, they were going to need 60-foot trusses. 60-foot trusses. Now, that is amazing. 60-foot trusses. Those are huge trusses, folks. And instead, they were going to build the trusses in place already on top of the roof. That's what they were going to do. because they knew this was going to be just an amazing task, really big trusses. And so they were going to build them in place. Well, they decided that wasn't going to work. So they bit the bullet and went out and had a truss company make trusses for their house. 2x4, 2x6, 2x8 construction, I forgot whatever they are, trusses, 60 foot long. And so I went over there the other day to help put them up, and it started raining. It rained hard, and so we put it off, and I'm going to go back over there on Monday. And I made a video for the patrons because patrons get behind-the-scenes videos. And so I made a patron video for those so they could see what we were doing and show them the trusses. I mean, it was just amazingly huge trusses. So that's what we did. That's what I did this week. I'm going back over there on Monday. Hopefully we'll be able to put the trusses up that day. They have a boom truck to be able to lift the trusses into place, and hopefully everything will go off without a hitch. Also, Jamie's working on the inside of the house. We mentioned before we did get manufactured homes, and so she is slowly redoing the inside of the house and painting it and putting up molding and all kinds of things. And we'll be having some videos coming out soon on that. I think you guys will enjoy seeing some of the work. We got some new cabinets she's making, and then painting. Tim's making the cabinets, and she's painting them. And so, Jamie's kind of an interior. You've probably heard her talk about before. She's kind of an interior decorator. And so she is busy doing all that. And so it's going to look really good when that's all done. And we'll do a video. And so someone just said that they lost sound. I'm not sure. I'm looking at the chat room. So hopefully... Okay, it's back, I think. Anyway, what else? I have a video coming up on a shovel. A company sent us a shovel. Now, when I was in the military, we had these things called entrenching tools. We called them E-tools for short. And an E-tool or entrenching tool was used for digging the hole you as an infantry soldier would place yourselves into when you were building a defensive position. And so a company contacted me. They're making these E-tools, but they're a little different than the ones that we had in the military. And these E-tools, they sent me one, and they're like, "Hey, would you like to review this?" And I said, "Sure." I don't turn down a whole lot. I mean, there have been companies, folks, believe it or not, who have contacted me, wanting me to review their product, and I'm like, you know what? It's just not Homestead related, and I am not going to. I'm not going to review your product. I'm just not. So, but this, it's a shovel. And, we use shovels quite a bit here. So I'm going to review this shovel, and I have an extra one I'll be giving away probably this week. I'm going to do a video on it. I was thinking maybe tomorrow. I have to go over to a friend's house and help him with some insulation, and so I think I'm going to do that. And then Monday I have to go over to Linden and Charlotte's and do the trusses. And the next time I have, an hour's worth of free time, I'm going to do a video review on this shovel. And then I'll give one away to somebody in the audience. And if you're not aware of, we give away all kinds of stuff to our audience, our general audience, on YouTube. All you got to do is go to our website at AmericanHomestead.com, go to our contact page, and put giveaway, all one word, giveaway, all one word in the subject line, giveaway. And you'll be forever entered into all of our giveaways. And I promise I won't spam you. I will never send you. I'll never sell your email to another company. No company who gives us products ever get your email. So it's just me. Okay, and you're forever entered. Once you're in my database, you're in forever, and you're entered into all the giveaways. Now, we have special giveaways that we give away to our patrons and patrons only, and we have special giveaways like we're going to do tonight for only those of you who are tuning into the podcast. We'll be doing a giveaway for a t-shirt. So there's always giveaways. We do lots of giveaways. Let's see. There is we were talking about last week, and I titled this podcast about California's new gun ban that's going into effect on December 31st. It's just a few days away, December 31st. And so we're going to talk about that, but also of the urban exodus that's happening. And there's a website called theurbanexodus.com, but it also, at the same time, it's good because this whole gun ban is going into effect in California, and it's going to be, there's already an exodus going on from California. People are leaving California in droves. But So we'll talk about that. But, first off, real quick, I know a lot of people are saying, hey, Merry Christmas. And we got a lot of people, want to celebrate Christmas. And we don't talk about religion on here on this channel. I have a whole nother channel for that if you want to know why we don't celebrate Christmas. But in a nutshell, there are people who want to know. And so here is why. We stopped celebrating Christmas about 6 years ago. Once me and my wife realized that it's not in the Bible. Nobody in the Bible celebrated Christmas. The disciples didn't celebrate Christmas. Our Messiah, Jesus, didn't celebrate Christmas. And so we stopped celebrating Christmas. What they did celebrate, the things they did do were the feast. Jesus celebrated the feast. The disciples celebrated the feast. Paul celebrated the feast. And so we realized, well, this is kind of a Roman invented holiday. Let's go back to do the things the people in the Bible did, and we celebrate the feast. That's what we do, because that's what the people of the Bible did. And so if our Messiah is our perfect example in which we're to follow, then that's what we should do. So I know people are at, Merry Christmas, and that's fine. And we do Hanukkah, although we don't make a big deal about Hanukkah. We do kind of, memorialize the day of what happened there back in Antioch Epiphanes, during the whole Maccabean revolt. So that is, we understand that. But that's why we don't keep Christmas, because it's just not in the Bible. Getting that out of the way, like I said, we don't really talk about religion on this channel because some people don't want to talk about it, and that's totally fine. Totally fine. Back to the Exodus thing. Before we get to that, last week we talked about vaporware in the Homestead community. So Homestead vaporware. Homestead vaporware. This is stuff that people talk about and that does not exist. So every week it comes back that people come to us and say, hey, Zach, have you checked out this new product or this new thing or this new water gatherer or some kind of gadget or gizmo that comes out on the market supposedly, and usually it's a 3D rendition of that product, and it doesn't exist. And what is going on here is a company has an idea and they're trying to get funding. They want your money, and so they're pushing this out there and they're saying, hey, here is this product, and go to Indiegogo and you can sponsor it, and we want your money. And so we can develop it. It's called vaporware. In the software industry, it's called vaporware because the product doesn't really exist. They want your money so that they can build the product and then hope that it works. That's how it works. That's just things in the industry. And so we talked about some of these things like the water seer, and we talked about the Zier pot. Some people use it, but does it actually work? There's a lot of things out there. We talked about Tesla and some of the products they have. Are they good? Are they applicable for off-grid homesteaders? Things like that. The one that we talked about a while back was the jet capsule. Now, the jet capsule, if you're not familiar with, let me go ahead and it was basically this flying saucer type disc, and it was a home, and it was being marketed to sustainable living, alternative homestead ideas. Okay. So sustainable living, alternative homestead ideas, and a lot of homestead pages and homestead groups on the internet were pushing this as an amazing new revolutionary way for you to homestead. And I'm looking at this and I'm like, there's all kinds of problems. And so we did a video on this a few months back, a podcast a few months back on this, or a couple months back on this, and now they have an update. Jet Capsule from jetcapsule.com has an update or an upgraded version. It's like I think they call it a UFO. It's 2.0, the 2.0, right? And so we're going to show you some pictures here tonight. I'm going to go ahead and put this up so you can see what I am seeing. And, there's I have a picture. Let's go. There it is. So here's the new one. I'm going to put this up on the screen, and hopefully you'll be able to see it. It's these floating UFO homes just got an update, is the picture you're seeing. Or it will be here in a minute. And so these floating homes are basically homes that they say are completely self-sustainable. And let's see, They generate their own energy. They supposedly say you can have your own garden in them, but that's just not possible. We talked about that last time. We'll get to that in a second. But yeah, someone says like these ocean pods. They're like ocean pods. And so I'll put the picture up here so you can see it. And it's these floating UFO homes. And these floating UFO homes are getting an update, and they're trying to get these out to the public by 2018, I think it is, 2018. And so you got these floating pod homes, and the jet capsule has released a look of an update. It's like a futuristic houseboat, and so it floats on the water. It's equipped with two 80 horsepower engines, and it's just a ridiculous concept. Here's what I mean. Yeah, they say they have 2,000 square foot of living space inside of these capsules, but my question is, it's. If you're out in the middle of the ocean, you better be darn sure that you can provide everything you may need. I mean, if there is a medical emergency, you're in trouble. If you want to go to Walmart that day to get food, or you need some kind of medicine, you're in trouble. You're not going that day. I also noticed that they changed the way the solar is. If you look at the picture now that's on the screen, it looks. And someone says, it looks fake to me. Well, it is fake because this is just a 3D generated image that people have put up, and it's not real. It's just vaporware. They're hoping that they're going to get funding from angel investors to build this product, and then hope that it works and hope that it is what they say it is. So 2,000 square feet of space. The interior it's got a kitchen. It's going to have a bedroom. It's going to have a jacuzzi. It's going to have, it's got solar panels on the outside that generate power for it. Obviously, it's going to have a desalinator of some sort, so you can take that salt water and then turn that into fresh water with no salt in it. Those are pretty extensive. At least the good ones are. And so it's a cool idea, but it's just not possible. What are you going to do for your food? You can catch your food or figure out some way to do that, but it's just, I don't see how you're going to be able to generate food with this. It's not sustainable unless you're going to have some kind of, Star Trek machines that, you push a button and there's your food when you open the door. I forgot what the replicators, whatever they are. That might work. But other than that, I just don't see it. So anyway, it has an update. They're putting out this update, and really the whole thing behind this is they need angel investors to get this off the ground so that they can build them. The only thing I see this actually being successful in is in the space of using them for vacation spots. It might be cool to go and spend, a week at one of these things, or a couple of days, a weekend for a vacation. But as far as living in this as a sustainable house solution, an alternative homestead solution, I just don't see it. It's just not gonna happen. So the picture you see on your screen now is a picture of the new one versus the old one. And so you notice the picture of the old one. This is one of the things that got us going. Is you notice the green grass, because someone made the point. It's got green grass on it. If any type of ocean mist, get up on there, it's going to kill the grass. And not only that, but there's no room for soil in that thing. So what ground are you planting your grass in? Also, notice that there's a mailbox on that thing. You're floating around the ocean. Where is the UPS guy or the United States Postal Service guy going to find you when you're floating around the ocean? It's ridiculous. This whole thing is ridiculous. Let's see. Let me go to the last picture I have here, and this could be the reason. The one. Let's see. It'll take a minute to come up, but again, the only way I see this as being viable is for a vacation spot, something that you go to and you enjoy, and you can take it out into the ocean. You can go out a little ways, but even then, I just something as big and as expensive as a floating house. I think it could only be for the ultra rich, but I could never see this as a sustainable alternative homestead solution. So someone says, is this a repeat? No, it's not a repeat. This is what people are doing nowadays. They're trying to do an upgrade. This is the same. The company, the jet capsule company, jetcapsule.com, has upgraded their old version, and now they want to make a new version. It's all vaporware, folks. So a lot of these things, again, come to us that people send us emails about. Hey, Zach, have you seen such and such new gadget? No, I haven't. Or yeah, maybe I have. And it's just, most of the stuff is just vaporware. So anyway, that's the only thing I could see this being viable for, is like a hotel or a resort type gimmick that people pay and they go to for a weekend getaway, or for a week long getaway maybe. But that's about it. I don't see them as viable, and I definitely don't see them as an alternative homestead solution. Anyway, I wanted to bring that back up because people enjoyed talking about that last time, and I just think the whole thing is silly and just a little ridiculous. Let's see. What else is on my list? My stack of stuff list. So if you want the information on the jet capsule, if you want to see that for yourself, you can go to jetcapsule.com and read all about it. And they actually have photos of the new Jet Capsule 2.0, where they've just put that up on their website. And plus, I think on their front page of their website, they have a picture of Al Pacino in one of their jet capsule taxi thingies or whatever. So I guess he's an owner of one of these things. But jetcapsule.com is the website. The other thing I learned about this week was Lyndon and Charlotte, when I was over at their house, they were talking about a farm-to-consumer legal defense fund, and this caught my attention. So before we start talking about urban exodus and the gun ban coming in California, the Farm-to-Consumer Legal Defense Fund, I think it's called farmtoconsumer.org. And this is something, I think it was started by a guy named John Moody, and there's a bunch of other people I think involved in this, where they're actually protecting or looking to help protect homesteaders who are coming under the attack of different regulatory agencies around the country and in certain states that are considered oppressive to people who live in alternative lifestyles or homesteading lifestyles. And so the Farm-to-Consumer Legal Defense Fund, they're really big in raw milk. They're really big with agriculture and meat processing. There's a website. It's farmtoconsumer.org. And if you go to their website, there's an article they have there that talks about a meat producer. This is what caught my attention. It says, Wisconsin Department of Agriculture shuts down mobile slaughter business. Now, this is something we actually thought about getting involved in when we first moved here, and we were talking with our neighbors, Matt and Tara. You may have remembered them. We were thinking about maybe starting a mobile slaughtering business where we would go to farm and actually slaughter beef products on site for farmers. For people who wanted to just slaughter one and they wanted the meat to go right to freezer, have us package it for them, and then go and just do everything right there on site. Easy peasy. And then charge a fee, because there's other companies out there doing this. Well, the Wisconsin Department of Agriculture just shut down a company that was doing that. In Wisconsin, they were basically going from farm to farm and shutting them down. And there's a guy who's at the Wisconsin Department of Agriculture who has made a name for himself as being very oppressive to homesteaders and small business owners who are in this type of industry and other industries. And the Farm-to-Consumer Legal Defense Fund has kind of stepped in to help shield them from this guy and some of his cohorts. So if you're interested in this story, I guess the Smith Brothers was the name of the company that was doing the processing of this raw meat, and I guess it was basically some paperwork snafu. And this guy saw the opportunity. The guy at the Wisconsin Department of Agriculture saw his opportunity and pounced on him, just because it seems like he's that kind of guy to do that. I mean, the Legal Defense Fund has had many run-ins, it seems like, with this one guy, this Paul Pierce, who is the director of the regulatory services in the Bureau of Meat and Poultry Businesses for the Department of Agriculture in Wisconsin. Really good article. Check that out at farmtoconsumer.org. And if you know of an incident, I mean, this could be, the legal defense team that, you could go to if you have questions about a situation that you're in or that your homestead is in. I know that I'm going to keep them on tabs and maybe reach out to them and try to establish a relationship with them, just because, an American homestead is so out there with our name, and we're on video and we're on the web, and it's just we're very much exposed. And so if I can develop a relationship with this defense fund and organization, I can maybe, it's always good. Listen, there's no such thing as bad publicity. If someone's targeting you as a homestead, there are a lot of people out there who will, rally to your cry and try to make calls on your behalf and apply pressure where pressure is needed so that you can, be free from that kind of garbage. Anyway, interesting website. I thought I'd share it with you. It's called the Farm to Consumer Legal Defense Fund. You can find them at farmtoconsumer.org, and you can even subscribe to their free email newsletter on that website. They have a really cool state-by-state review of raw milk laws, and I thought that was interesting because I hadn't seen that before. If you go to their website, you can find that map of raw milk laws. It's called Raw Milk Nation. It's an interactive map, and so far as it stands, Delaware, New Jersey, Rhode Island, Louisiana, Iowa, Montana, Nevada, and Hawaii it's all illegal in those states to sell raw milk. Completely, it will get you thrown behind bars if you will sell raw milk in those states. The states that are legal retail sales from raw milk are Maine, New Hampshire, Connecticut, Pennsylvania, South Carolina, New Mexico, Arizona, California, Idaho, Washington. And I thought that was amazing, California, because California has so many regulatory laws. I didn't think that California would be okay to sell raw milk. I mean, they're banning everything else, but apparently, according to this map, it's legal to sell raw milk on the California retail market. So interesting for that. But still, I wouldn't move there if someone paid me. Anyway, that is the website, farmtoconsumer.org. Let's see. What else do I got here? Going down the list. Getting over to this off-the-grid news. It's offthegridnews.com, and they have an article on there, and you can find it by going to the website, offthegridnews.com. And it's basically the gun ban that's going into effect in California on December 31st. And if you're not aware of this, let's just go there and I'll read the article to you. It's offthegridnews.com, and it's the Californians rush to buy guns before the ban takes effect. And according to this, and I hadn't heard about this until just recently, but it's been in the news over there, especially the NRA's talking about it. And sales of semi-automatic rifles have doubled, and sales of handguns have spiked 40% in the Golden State ahead of a strict gun control law that will take effect on January 1st. January 1st. Californians will not be able to buy certain weapons, including popular styles of the AR-15, after December 31st. So there's where that date came from. After December 31st, the new state law will ban rifles with bullet buttons. Now, I don't know what a bullet button is. Is that a trigger? I mean, is that what they're trying to say? I don't know what hold on, let me Google this. What's a bullet button? Bullet button. Let's see what this is. Bulletbutton.com. There's a bulletbutton.com. Wikipedia says a bullet button is a device used to remove a magazine in a semi-automatic rifle, replacing the magazine release with a block which forces the user to remove... What? There's a video on YouTube. Okay. A bullet button is a device used to remove a magazine in a semi-automatic rifle. Well, that's a magazine release. Replacing the magazine release with a block which forces the user to remove the magazine by using a tool as opposed to his or her finger. This allows rifles to comply with California's firearms law. Oh my goodness. The name came about due to a 1999 California state law which said that a bullet or ammunition cartridge is considered a tool. In 2016, a bill to prohibit the sales of firearms with bullet buttons was approved by California state lawmakers on April 20th and later signed by Governor Jerry Brown in July. AR-15 with a bullet button. I still don't understand what it's talking about. It's a button that drops the magazine. A bullet button is a device used to remove a magazine. Why don't they just have a mag release? They can't have mag releases in California? All right, there's a picture here. let's see. If I click on this, it's taking forever. Here we go. There's a picture. It's for sale on Google Shops, but I guess it's just a button. It's a mag release. I don't understand what's the difference between a mag release and a bullet button. I guess it's because they want you to use a tool for it. That's just ridiculous. I never heard of this before. But apparently they're now illegal after December 31st. Another law that will go into effect bans magazines with more than 10 rounds. It also requires background checks for ammunition purchases. So basically, you're not going to be able to buy the AR-15 anymore, or AK-47s, or any variants thereof. You can't buy rifles with bullet buttons, whatever that is. And another law that goes into effect bans magazines with more than 10 rounds, and it also requires background checks for ammunition purposes. The last day someone can buy an AR-15 because of California's 10-day waiting period is December 21st, according to a memo from the state's Bureau of Firearms. So it's December 24th right now. You're out of luck. So this is one of the reasons why people are leaving the state. I mean, in droves. People are leaving California. And it's because of stuff like this. And I mean, I say go ahead, keep passing laws like this. Because I mean, people are just going to keep leaving. The people who are actually making money, the folks who actually have jobs, they're leaving because they want freedom. They want to be able to do what they want. They want to own the tools they want. They want to own a gun. They want to be able to own a gun. And they're not going to stay in a state like California. They're just not. You know, if people don't want to vaccinate their kids, they want to be able to have a choice in vaccinating their children. And when you're going to force vaccination on people, they're going to leave. They're going to go to different places where they don't have to worry about that. There are people who don't want to send their kids to public school and force certain curriculum down the throats of their children. And when you force that stuff and you don't allow people to homeschool the way they want to, they're going to leave. They're just going to leave. And that's the problem you have in California. I've met a number of people out here who have left California to come here looking for greener pastures, so to speak, because of the regulatory nonsense that's going on inside of California. It's just ridiculous. The whole thing is absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, so they're banning guns in California. So that brings us to our next thing in the stack of stuff. And if they're banning bullet buttons in California, AR-15s and magazines, and you can't buy ammunition unless you go through a background check. I mean, again, what's the point of even buying ammo? Because they're taking away your guns. You got to turn in the AR. So, I mean, there's lots of people who are going to be leaving after January 1st this year. There were people who left last year and all the laws they passed about homeschool and vaccinations last year. Now, this year, they're going to be leaving because they're not going to turn in their guns. So that brings me to another website, and that's this website. It's called urbanexodus.com. urbanexodus.com. So check this out. It's the urbanexodus.com. You can go to urbanexodus.com, and they just did they do a number of stories on homesteaders. Some of you may be familiar with some of the people in here. I recognize a couple of names of some of these homesteaders. Some of them are more famous than others. Some of these are just small families with no real online presence at all, which I just found completely fascinating. But they all look like mostly young, energetic couples who wanted to get out and live a different lifestyle than what they found in the cities. And I would love to see how many of these people on urbanexodus.com actually left California to go somewhere else. I'm guessing there's a pretty good handful of them here who left California. But anyway, the one that they just did a recent article on, and you can go see it at urbanexodus.com, is something most of you probably are familiar with. If you're in the homestead culture or homestead arena, you know of New Life on a Homestead. It's a very popular homesteading blog. She has a YouTube channel. It's Kendra over at New Life on a Homestead, and they just did an article on her. And so we've chatted with her a couple times here from our homestead, And really interesting family, very cool blogger, and always posting really neat stuff. And so talks about her and her husband Jerry on their homestead, and I think you'll probably really get some good stuff out of this article. I found most of the articles to be really interesting. Kendra is very well known for her canning videos and DVD that she put out. So I think one of them is called a home canning for beginners and beyond. Very popular canning videos. So people who are new to canning, new to homesteading, they usually find her at some point and glean the knowledge that she has to share. So Kendra over at New Life on a Homestead, I leave it out in it says right here. Right here we go. See, right there. Case in point. Santa Barbara, California, to the rural foothills of North Carolina. Excuse me. Santa Barbara, California, to the rural foothills of North Carolina. So where was their exodus from? It was from California. I didn't know that. I just read that now. I'm looking at the website. Didn't see that earlier. And so it says Kendra's father gifted the couple with an acre of land on his retirement property in the rural foothills of North Carolina. And the growing family left the suburbs and moved into the temporary trailer. In 2008, they found a repoed manufactured home, relocated it to their property, and fixed it up. So, but they moved from California, Santa Barbara, California, to the foothills of North Carolina, which makes perfect sense. And I just think you're going to see more of this. Again, I would love... And this article is a pretty good article. It's got lots of pictures. So if you guys are interested in pictures and want to see what their homestead looks like and some of the things they're doing, there's lots of pictures. There's a picture of their well and the pump that they have on their well. It looks like to me they have the same well pump, hand pump that we have, and they also have an electric pump there as well. We have the what's it called? The hand pump. I can't remember the name of the hand pump we have now, but they have the same one. I can see it in one of the pictures. But yeah, they got their solar power, and she got her in the kitchen making bread, and the kids in their room. I'm assuming they do homeschooling there as well, and so lots of interesting pictures, just tons of pictures on this article for their home there. So check that out. I think you'd really get a kick out of that article on urbanexodus.com. Let's see, what else? And we'll get to questions and comments in a minute. Plus, we still have the t-shirt giveaway coming up at the end of the show. So stay tuned for that. Let's see. The urban exodus from California and gun bans and vaccines and homeschool regulations. People just don't want to stay there. I saw this article on good home design this week, and it was acorns as a survival food, how to cook and how to make coffee and burgers with acorns. And the link is in your show notes, so you can go to the description of this video and get the link and paste it into your browser and then check out the article that I'm looking at. And good home designs, acorns as a survival food, and how to cook and even make coffee and burgers with acorns. I had coffee made with acorns a couple of years ago, and it actually tasted awesome. However, there's no caffeine in it, so you're just getting a taste, and it's almost like I don't know. It's some kind of a nutty taste. It's like almost like a butter pecan type taste, or it's interesting. It's very good, very delicious. But the thing is, I don't know if it mentions this in here in this article, and I don't think it does. Is when you want to use acorns, you need to make sure you have white oak. It doesn't mention this in the article, because if you get red oak acorns, it's just not going to taste very good. It's just not. There's lots of things you can do with acorns, folks. You can make bread with it. You can make burgers with it. I mean, yeah, you can make burgers. I mean, they do that in this article, and as in the video here, you can do all that, and you can make coffee with it. It tastes excellent coffee. You can mix it with your coffee. The problem is you need to use white acorns. If you use the red oak acorns instead of the white oak acorns, it's very stringent. It's very bitter, and you got to rinse them 2 or 3 times. But the white oak acorns, you can basically eat those off the tree. I mean, I have done that. I mean, I've gone out there. There's a couple big white oaks just around the corner from our house, and I've gone out there with my boys, and we picked the white oaks off, and peel the shell off and chew on them. I mean, and they're not stringent at all. They're okay. And they're even better if you roast them. That's what you want to do when you make coffee with it. Break them up into little pieces, roast them over a fire in like a cast iron pan, and then crush them into a powder, just like you would a coffee bean, a roasted coffee bean, and make coffee out of it. Put it in your coffee filter. It tastes great. It tastes excellent. So if you're interested in that, acorns as a survival food, I put the link in the description below. You can check it out. It's at thegoodhomesdesign.com. It even comes with a YouTube video that you can watch there for how to make acorn burgers. I've never done that, but I've heard you can do it. I also heard you can make bread with acorn powder, acorn flour. You dry it, and I've heard it makes good bread. So you can do a lot with acorns. The only thing, like I said, it doesn't mention it in the article, you must use white oak. White oak. I mean, you can use the red oak, but you're going to have to rinse it, and it's going to be a lot of work. It's a lot of work. You're going to have to rinse it and drain, rinse and drain, and heat up and drain to get all that bitterness out and the astringent flavor out. So, but they are high in vitamins and very good for you, and there's a lot of food you can do with acorns. A lot of things you can do with acorns. You won't starve when you know how to use acorns, but you got to get the right tree. Let's see what else here. We might be going over to we're about the 15-minute mark. And so one other thing I'll quick mention, go to this, I think it's, let me make sure I have this address correct. It's Homestead box. Maybe it's the Homestead box. Yeah, all right. So it's thehomesteadbox.com, right? I don't think that's right. Hold on. My browser's acting up. The Homestead box. Yes, it's thehomesteadbox.com. They sent us a box to review, and we're going to review it. And it is it's the Pioneer version. They have two versions of Homestead boxes, and this is kind of like a popular thing nowadays. Homestead boxes, where they have Creation Crate. We've done videos on that, where my son is learning Creation Crate and for his homeschool. And so there's lots of people out there, lots of companies out there going with these boxes, these gift type boxes. And the Homestead box has seen all of the Homestead channels out there and the blogs, and it says, hey, this is an opportunity. And so they they put together some boxes. They have the Classic and the Pioneer, and they're mostly just like a gift. And it's kind of like a subscription as well. So they're showing a bunch of different things that they're sending you. And I just got a box in the mail the other day, and we're going to open it up this week and do a video on it. I'm going to do a video review. And so they sent me the Pioneer box, and I'm going to open it up, and we're going to see what's in it. And I'll share it with you guys. So I just want to let you know that was coming up. If you're interested in checking that out, you can go to thehomesteadbox.com and check that out. I'll also include that link in the show notes down below, so you can check it out if you want. But T-shirt giveaway. Are you guys ready for your trivia question? Let's see. Hold on. Let's see. So, seen Tommy's box. DVD did this. Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm reading the show note. I'm reading the chat room here. Okay. Reading. All right. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna give you the trivia question, and you guys. The first person who responds with the right answer is going to be the winner. First person who responds is going to be the winner of the American Homestead T-shirt, and you're going to have to send me an email with your address so I can get it to you. So here is the trivia question. And you're all waited on bated breath, I know. So the trivia question is this. What were the names of the two Great Danes in the movie Swiss Family Robinson? What were the names of the two Great Danes in the movie Swiss Family Robinson? Okay, again. What were the names of the two Great Danes, those are dogs, the two Great Dane dogs in the movie Swiss Family Robinson? So, first person with the answer, we're waiting on bated breath. Who will it be? So, I'm watching the chat room. see what we got here. And dog 1 and dog 2. That's not it. Sorry. No, you didn't. Oh, living strategically got it. Duke and Turk. Zeus and Apollo. Living strategically, you win. Living strategically, yeah, he's right. Duke and Turk. You got it. Congratulations, living strategically. You are now the winner of an American Homestead T-shirt. I'd rather be on the Homestead. Big D 95822. I want to give you a T-shirt just for giggles. I'm not gonna, but I'd like to. Zeus and Apollo. I know where that's from. That's from Magnum PI, one of my favorite all-time greatest shows on earth. And I love that show, Magnum PI in the 1980s. Tom Selleck. Zeus and Apollo were the two Doberman pinchers who lived on the estate. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, very cool. But living strategically, you win. Congratulations. Do me a favor, go to my website and tell me that you're living strategically and send me your, from the contact page, send me your address and I'll get that to you in the mail. And living strategically, or just send me a PM on YouTube so I know it's you. Send me a PM on YouTube with your address. That'd be great. Just private message me on my YouTube channel. But yeah, I like Magnum PI. Really like that show. And I remember Zeus and Apollo. But no, that wasn't the right answer. It was Duke and Turk. Very good. Congratulations. Is there any other questions, folks? If you have any questions, we got about 10 minutes left. Go ahead and post them in all caps in the chat room, and we'll get to them. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else I haven't mentioned yet. The Homestead box, Jet Capsule, Cow is doing great, and urbanexodus.com. A lot of good stuff on there. I hope you guys get a chance to check that out this week. And let's see, what else is going on? We will be hunting deer season. The Christmas deer season starts on Monday. So Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday is going to be deer season. I'll be out there hunting on Monday. Monday I have to go help with the trusses, but I'm coming back and I'm getting in my stand that night. Usually it's at night when I shoot the deer anyway. And so I'll be hunting Monday night. And then Tuesday and Wednesday, those days are reserved for hunting. And trying to see if what else is going to be working on the sawmill this week. Probably. Big Bear Homestead says, when is trapping season? I don't know. I don't know exactly when our season starts. I think it's right now. It's set. I know the season started, but I haven't started yet because I just don't think it's been that cold yet. It's been a little bit cold. We've had some cold days, but today was like in the 60s, you know. But I usually don't trap until January, February. So that's when I think the coats on these animals are the thickest. Up in Missouri, we didn't even start trapping raccoons until actually January. We didn't trap coons in December because the fur wasn't big enough on them yet. The skin wasn't thick enough. Yeah, I've been sawmilling. No, I haven't been on the sawmill in a while. I have to go down and do some maintenance on the mill. I need to change my track, which the carriage runs on. I need to get that fixed. So it's going to be hopefully working on maybe this week if I can. Where's the ham radio videos? There's more coming. I just got to go do that. So I got to do some more ham radio videos. I want to do an installation video on my truck, but I just don't have I don't have the installation equipment. No, we don't eat the beaver, Big Bear. It's not what I would consider a clean animal according to the Bible. So we don't eat the beaver. I know that's a debate that people like to have, but no, we don't eat beaver or raccoon. But I will use the pelts. I will take the pelts, and for sure, if somebody else wants to eat it, they can more than happy eat it if they want to do that. But I use the pelts. So let's see what else. Off grid with Doug and Stacy is going to be hunting in the morning in our pasture. That would be great if we could get some turkey in our pasture. I don't see turkeys out here very often. Even with our turkeys we have, we thought maybe they would call them in, but they're not calling them in at all. So at least I haven't seen them yet. Yes, Barry, I'm going to be coming back to Beaumont, Texas in 2017. I'll be speaking there. I think it's in May? I'm not sure. Or is it June? Maybe it's June. So, but maybe it's June. I think in Beaumont, Texas, or maybe it's Austin, Texas. I'm not sure where this conference is going to be at, where I'll be speaking at, but it's somewhere around that time frame. I think it's probably in June, but it's either Beaumont, Texas, or Austin, Texas. I'm not sure yet where it's at. But yep. Let's see. Muzzleloader season started today here in Missouri. Yeah, I don't have a muzzleloader. I get all my deer with my rifle, so I just don't see really a need to get one. So, my neighbor's got one because he says it's an extra opportunity to hunt, but he hunts all the time. So, new internet service. So thanks for bringing that up. So I have found a company that can offer supposedly high-speed service through a high-gain antenna. And I'm going to talk with this company. It sounds like they have a really good deal. A viewer emailed me this week, and I was looking at a couple of different companies, but the company I think I like was a company that a viewer is using, and he said that they offer, it's a really good deal, 300 gigs per month with free data on Netflix and YouTube, which is right up my alley. And it processes the internet through a high gain antenna that you put up on your house. So we don't have any cell towers out here. I mean, I think the nearest cell tower is, if you're lucky, 8 miles away to my southwest, I think. And so I have clear access to my southwest. The problem is I don't know if this high gain antenna will reach that far. If the high gain antenna will reach that far, then we're in business. And I'll probably get some really good high speeds. But I don't know. I think they're mostly used for antennas. These antennas usually work for 2 to 3 mile radiuses, and I don't know if that's going to work or not. But it's anyway, it's a high gain antenna. You put it up, and it runs through the cell towers, and you're paying like $100 a month for like 300 gigs, or it's basically unlimited because Netflix and YouTube are unlimited data, and you get 300 gigs. So basically, you get unlimited amount of data to use for your internet. So that's it. I think we're gonna try to maybe look at that, and we're gonna have to buy some equipment. We'll have to buy the high gain antenna. Right now it's the holidays, so I haven't been able to find any of the. I haven't been able to get a hold of the guy at the company. So as soon as this is over, I'll be basically talking with that guy and working out a deal. And maybe if I can, because I know so many people are really interested in rural, good high-speed internet. That's not satellite, because people are just really angry at satellite. Satellite does not work. So they're looking for alternatives. And if you have a cell phone tower in your area, or at least anywhere close to your area, a good one like Verizon, T-Mobile, Sprint, AT&T, you can probably get really good speeds through the 4G network and LTE network that they have on those towers. And so that's something really you could check into. I think I may work out a deal with them. Say, listen, I will promote your product and promote your company. Give me some free service or something. Let's make a deal, and I'll promote it on my channel, because there's a lot of people who are interested in rural internet. They hate the satellite. So anyway, that's kind of where I'm at on internet. We'll have some more information on that probably next week, because I'm going to try to talk to them. An American Homestead Player One wants to know what the speed is, and this guy who emailed me about it, he was getting 27 megs download, I think, and like 17 megs upload, which is phenomenal. We're getting right now on our stream like 2 megs or 3 megs download and like 0.60 upload, so like 600K upload. So that's horrible. It says Verizon has unlimited for $40 4G. Well, I haven't seen that deal. I haven't seen that deal. But we're gonna have to, either way, we're gonna have to use a high gain antenna. I have Verizon now, but there's no cell towers out here, so my cell phone's worthless. The only thing I use my cell phone for is recording all the videos that we do. There's no way I'm gonna be able to get cell service out here. So the high gain antenna is gonna be to point to the cell tower so that you can receive that internet signal. It's a passive antenna, and so you're basically pointing that to the cell tower or the direction you believe the cell tower is, and your laptop screen will tell you exactly when you have it pointed correctly, because it'll show you the rating of the connection that you have, and then you just leave it there and lock it down, and that's what you're going to do. But I've never heard of unlimited 4G for only $40 a month on Verizon. That sounds like a pretty good deal, but you still have to have a cell tower near you, and there ain't no cell towers out where I live. We are in the middle of nowhere. You go to nowhere, and you drive another 30 minutes, and then you're in the middle of it, and we're in the middle of nowhere. There's the closest cell tower is, if you're lucky, 8 to 10 miles away, and the next one after that's 14 miles away. So there's no cell towers. So Go for Green Living. Are you ever speaking over this way? I don't know what over this way is. Where are you at, Go for Green Living? I think you're in Missouri somewhere, if I'm not mistaken. What is the company name? Let me see if I can find the company name real quick before we check out of here tonight. Company was sent to me by a guy named Patrick. It is 4G Antenna Shop. The 4G Antenna Shop. Let me see if I can go to their website. It's 4gantennashop.com. 4gantennashop.com. So that's where you want to go if you're interested in this. And I'm already giving them free advertising. So Go for Green Living is in the South. Well, we're in the South. Southeast. Like Georgia? Are you in Georgia? Mississippi? Florida? Let me know where you're at. And I'll go wherever people pay my way to go. That's the thing, I'll go speak, but you got to pay and cover my expenses. I don't ask for any offerings or donations or anything like that. If you want me to come speak, I'll come speak. Just pay my expenses, and then I'll do that. So right now I'm teaching on the agricultural roots of the Hebrew people. Been doing that for the last couple months, and got some video series coming out on the other channel for that. So if you're interested, you can find that. But if you're Alabama, Go for Green Living is in Alabama. Yeah, like I said, man, pay my ways, or get a bunch of guys together and pay my way, and I'll be down there. I only do a few speaking events every year, so you got to get me early. And I have a couple lined up already for 2017, so you got to get me early. Anyway, but thanks so much for tuning in again this week, and really glad you guys tuned in. Gonna have a great show next week for you. Got a bunch of stuff already in the can for you guys to check out next week. So tune in. And we probably will have another giveaway next week if you're interested. So be sure to check back with us next Saturday night, 10 p.m. Eastern. And maybe we'll give away a jar of Jamie's Peach Jam. So you'll have to wait and see. All right, guys. See you next time on the Homestead.